Hello to all traders and welcome back to another market review brought to you by Orbex. So gold is picking up slightly ahead of today's inflation data. Inflation is expected to creep a little bit higher away from the all-important 2% target that the Fed has had since the last 2 or 3 years, since the end of COVID basically. And we're just waiting to hear now that not only if inflation does creep higher, what will the Fed make of this as well? On the flip side of that, the dollar has seen a little bit of a bounce back towards the $100 area on the index after US China talks were quite positive, had a positive outcome in London the last couple of days. So that's been quite good. And we're just waiting if there's going to be any sort of trade deal going ahead and what that might mean for the markets going forward as well. But let's just get straight into gold first of all on the 4-hour chart intraday. I just wanted to kind of emphasize that we are still moving away from the 3300 area, which is a very significant support zone at the moment. As you can see, we've had some tests roughly around this area and a bounce away from that has indicated that prices and buyers have entered the market. Price action is a little bit more bullish than it is bearish. The RSI is looking quite neutral in that respect. So in that case, are we going to start looking towards possibly 3350 as the next target to the upside and then possibly 3400? Obviously, it's a little bit of a way to go, but from the detrimental downturn that we saw not so long ago, last week, we've seen over $100 being wiped off of the value. So if we can add at least another $50 to gold, then we should see more of a bullish output in that respect. On the flip side with the dollar, as you can see here, I've marked out the $100 area because we had a big collapse through that particular zone. Now we're just treading water, very, very choppy price action, but as I said, the US and China having progressive trade talks, representatives that is. So we're just waiting to see now if anything comes of that and what will be coming to the news inflation next. We've got some other indicators of the rest of the week. We've got PPI data tomorrow, but it's the inflation data today. That's the really big thing we have to sink our teeth into because, like I said, we're moving away from that all-important 2% target, creeping up to 2.5% allegedly. So if the results do come in that it is above 2.5%, then it would be spell bad news for the Fed because they've got to start making some really big decisions about where we go to next and what's in store for rate cuts, rate hikes, or more pauses from the Fed. So not as progressive as we have seen in the last couple of years, inflation coming down, but it was to be expected, especially with Donald Trump and his trade talks, the trade war, we could say, that's been started in the last few months and the possible recession that could be coming later. So just keep an eye out for that particular news event coming up in a couple of hours, and we'll wait and see. As usual, we'll bring you all the latest on our fundamentals and technicals as they come, the big news headlines that could shape the markets, and we'll speak again on the next video around. Bye for now.